We're talking about demon hunting today. Don't mind the shirt though. I promise you I'm not crazy. Okay, I don't promise you. So I really wanted to take the time out today to talk about demons, what they are, where to find them, and just, what we go through every day as individuals. I think personally, we fight our own demons more than anything. That's just my perspective. I truly, honestly believe that you are your worst enemy, and there's nobody who's going to, bring you down more than you are personally. And, that goes for the individual. Some people are much more motivated and happier than others, and some people have actual demons, like, a family member or like a friend or even a partner that just belittles them and treats them like shit. So there's that too when we talk about demons. The last video I made was about energy vampires, what they are, which is very similar, but it's also a lot more draining, I believe, to struggle with demons, personal demons, more than anything. So that's what we're going to focus on. Now, this energy really was brought to my attention, I think, honestly, more lately than anything, because I've personally been watching people struggle with their demons this year. I think 2020 is really one of those, balancing gateway type of years. It's the the year of planet alignments and all kinds of astrological events. December 21st, there's going to be a big event that hasn't happened in 800 years. So, there's going to be a lot of shifts and turns and a lot of healing. And just a lot of awakening to truth and reality, which, just aside from even the spiritual side, it's just like an eye-opener in general for what your true potential is, what you're capable of, and just kind of self-reliance more than anything this year. I think a lot of people are really being taught individually. They're teaching themselves even, or just learning from other people, which is awesome. That's what we're all about. Now, going over demons, obviously the first one that we clearly, struggle with the most is ourself, our own inner personal demons that tell us, you're not good enough, that they don't like you, or, even just those bad vibes that you give yourself when, you just don't want to be around other people, or you have trust issues, or, whatever that individual thing is, or if you constantly do that to yourself, or you only do that to yourself sometimes. And then there's also those demons that keep you from reaching your potential and your goals by distracting you with shit you don't need to be distracted with and focus on. So there's also that. Personally, a little less of a demon to worry about, but it's still actually personally a big issue. If you have some goals in mind, I definitely suggest working on those demons as well, because those distracting demons that just allow you to snack or whatever and just to sit around and stare at your Facebook all day, those type of demons are your enemy too. So just keep that in mind. Even though it may not seem like a big deal, they could actually be really keeping you from your potential. So I personally struggle with those demons all the time. I distract myself really easily. I'm a Virgo. I have management and control. I wouldn't say issues, but it's definitely a focus of mine. And I do also easily get distracted. However, that kind of messes with my management type of, mindset, because I want to control everything and make sure things go according to plan. So, that can be a balancing situation for me a lot of the times. I do personally distract myself more than anything. I smoke a lot of weed, And personally, I definitely need to cut back. There's nothing wrong with weed, but personally, the amount that I smoke, I tend to just like lose focus and start listening to like music and just chill out and vibe out and just enjoy the vibe, which is good because I'm happy, but then, there's other things that I need to start taking care of that I won't take care of. So personally, I do have, those inner demons that distract me 24/7. I've personally worked on a lot of like my, self-love demons, or I wouldn't call them self-love demons. They're like the opposite of that. Like they keep me from self-loving. I used to be like an emotional twat growing up. No, I won't say twat, but seriously though, I was an emotional brat at, some points in my life, and it kind of really kept me from like reaching potential like when I was younger. Like I could have really got some good like upgrades in life and some like, what is the word? Uh, you know, just I could have done better. I really could have. I could have done better for myself, but I was always beating myself up. I was always distracting myself too. And, just demotivated with life because everything felt pressured. And I was also really focused on other people, which personally that went more into like the whole energy vampire vibe where people were taking and taking and taking from me because I was willing to give so much, which is also a personal demon. Like, don't give yourself away to people. Like, you need to learn your self-worth. You need to realize your self-worth and battle those demons so they don't tell you or allow yourself to just give yourself away to somebody who does not deserve you or just won't be beneficial for your situation or beneficial for your life at all, because there are certain people that, personally, I believe in self-development, self-growth. You need to work on yourself as an individual. If you watched my last video, you can get that vibe from me. I don't self-pity. I don't pity others. I used to, but I don't do that anymore. People, they put themselves in situations and they allow themselves to be in situations. That's not always, sometimes a lot of that comes from a lot of trauma. However, I still feel like a lot of people have the potential to heal and work on themselves individually. So that's just my personal perspective. But anyway, going back into like demons, demon hunting, recognizing a demon, and because some people are just energy vampires, which is still pretty toxic. However, there's some like real like demons out there that you need to like kind of protect yourself from, and even like maybe you don't allow them into your life, but they still have the potential to affect you, maybe based on like where you live, the energy you're allowing into your home. There's a lot of like rituals and things that you can do to kind of protect your home. Going into kind of protecting your home, personally, obviously, you do want to have some type of weapon. Maybe you're not into that, but you should protect your home with, like a baseball bat at least. You protect yourself. There are negative people, there are toxic ass demons out there that are willing to just walk into your home. I'm not trying to bring that energy into your life, I'm just saying protect yourself. Be smart. Anyway, so as far as like rituals and stuff go, obviously you can have intention oil setting like in your windowsill. I feel like your window, your doors, and just even like your yard is a really good place to have that protective energy. So like having like an intention spell jar like around your windowsill. There's like there's loads of different rituals and spells and energy that you can use to protect your home. Personally, I like eggshells. I like the idea behind eggshells because they are protective, they hold and carry a lot of weight, and they've just been used for like centuries for rituals and spells and protection more than anything. So I like to collect my eggshells and then I use them for either my spell jars, so I can create like a little spell jar out of the eggshells, or also what I like to do is I like to kind of crumble them up and kind of turn them into like powder or whatever, and just kind of like lay like a line around like my house. If you want to do like a ritual to just protect your own energy in general, um or just kind of have some like guidance, you can also, I really like doing this, putting eggshells like in a circle around myself when I'm either doing readings or if I'm just trying to recharge my own energy. I feel that protection. It gives me a good vibe. And personally, I have like a spot at the park. I don't know if you recognize it from some of my older videos when it was a little bit warmer. I would go to that park all the time. And under this tree, especially, because also trees are very protective, they're healing, they just send off this vibe to you, this energy. So those are also really good to kind of like hang out and chill with. Like, they tell you to go hug a tree for a reason, bro. I know, I'm a hippie. Anyway, but like I have like this little kind of like personally I like to call it my little alchemy circle where I like just meditate, recharge my own personal battery, and just try to get rid of bad vibes and bring good vibes in. So that's just another thing that I like to do as far as like eggshells go. There's other things you can use too. I believe Himalayan salt is really good for protective energy too. I laid a roll, like a line out of Himalayan salt the other day around my house too, to kind of bring in money and abundance and kind of inspire my dad to do some stuff with his own business and bring in money for him so he can be a lot happier. So I know. I'm not witch though. I be using spells on people to motivate them. But anyway, so back to demons. So other things that you can do to kind of protect yourself also as far as like rituals go. I also like to write a spell down on a piece of paper, and personally I could be, I was going to say nymphomaniac. That is not what I was about to say. Those what, a pyromaniac. But I do like to like write down my intention and my whatever ritual or whatever affirmation I want to write down. I like to burn that, and then I have like a jar that I collect. I collect jars and all kinds of stuff. But I put my ashes, I like to burn my intention and then I stuff it in that jar. So there's like other intentions in that jar, and it's a collection of my energy and stuff that I will remember. And it's kind of also that thing where like, you know, you write stuff down and you have a tendency to memorize it better. That's also where I'm trying to go with that. So when I do burn it, I stuff it in the jar, I let it, you know, do its magic, and then, you know, I also sometimes try to like, you know, put some incense energy in there too, because I set intentions with my incense. There's like all kinds of different ways to set intentions. We'll make a whole nother video about that. Anyway. But then what I like to do, like under like a full moon ritual, or, you know, I'm not that great at astrology and moon cycles and stuff. You can get apps if you want me to suggest an app for you. I have like a list of different apps that I use. Just let me know and I'll leave it in the comments below. But what you can do is under like a moon ritual or just an intention setting ritual at night or whenever you feel like it's best to do it intuitively, let your intuition guide you first of all. Don't let somebody else's intention or intuition guide you, unless you want to, of course, but your own intuition's a lot stronger. So just kind of what I like to do is I put the ash in my hand, or I just kind of release it out into the atmosphere. I actually did a really good ritual with my friend. We did like a full moon ritual and set some intentions, and it was actually really cool because our ash, I swear, I kid you not, like it just went straight up to the moon. It was the most beautiful event. And yeah, it felt really strong. And when you feel the power of, you know, doing something yourself or whatever, that energy is just that much stronger. So just keep that in mind. Now, going again, we're getting a little more into like rituals and stuff. That's not what I really wanted to focus on. As far as like personal demons, like even having like a book of shadows is really good for your own personal sorry, my cat just got here. This is Kuro. Oh well, that's Kuro's butthole. Kitty time. Anyway, so like a book of shadows, it's funny that Kuro came up when I just started talking about Book of Shadows. He's my shadow cat. He's a little dick, but he's a good kitty. He protects the house too, actually, from other fucking cats. He's just territorial. Anyway, so like a book of shadows is really good for like your own personal demons. Like if you're really wanting to fight those demons off and, you know, pick up some better habits and some better like, you know, like just qualities about yourself where you're a lot more focused, or you know, whatever your personal demon is. Let's not talk about what that is because you personally know what that is, and even if you don't, you can start, you know, focusing in on that energy and pick up that energy and, you know, realize what your own personal demons are and what type of energy you're feeding yourself. So a book of shadows is really helpful for that sort of thing. uh Another thing is, you know, just kind of acknowledging other people's energy and what they're putting out there. Intuitively, that can be a little hard at first if you don't kind of trust your own intuition and trust the vibe that people give you. uh that, you know, it can take practice. There's other, we can talk about that in some other video if you want me to help you kind of guide you on like how to acknowledge other people and their demons and what type of energy they're feeding you. I can have like a whole video focused on that. We'll just talk about that some other time. But you know, just practicing, watching other videos. Even there's topics, there's videos about it that already exist about, you know, recognizing other people's toxic behavior and the energy that they're feeding you. But you know, I personally wouldn't write like this in a book because I don't know, there's a chance or opportunity they may find it and be like, "What the fuck you writing about me for?" No, I'm just kidding. But like personally, just try to, you know, pick up on other people and the vibe they give you, and just, you know, acknowledge that they're not necessarily benefiting you, or you know, whatever your goals are, they're not motivating you. If they're not motivating you and pushing you in the right direction, whether they're kicking your ass and being like, why are you sitting there and doing that and doing nothing? Like my friend, she's always like pushing me to get my shit together, and go her. I love her for that because she motivates me and pushes me in the right direction. But like if they're not doing that for you and they're not giving you the right type of energy, just try to learn how to acknowledge that, and you know, learn that some people are just they're never going to change. Again, we talked about that in the last video. People don't change unless they see that they need a change, and you can't tell somebody that they need a change and expect them to do that because one, it's a little selfish, but two, it's just not possible. Some people can, but you just should not ever expect that from anybody ever. You really shouldn't. It's not gonna get you anywhere, and there's so many other things that you should focus on. Now, going into some other like toxic traits and toxic behaviors, like really, I personally believe like your diet can really affect like your mood swings and just your energy in general. So like if you're taking in like a crap ton of sugar, you're eating way too much protein, or you're just not really balancing out your diet where you're not eating enough or you're eating way too much, a lot of that can really um affect your mood, and then also be in kind of like that flow with it. So like if you eat and eat because you're upset or whatever, then more of that type of negative energy will kind of follow along in fruition with that. So like it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just going to bring up more toxic behaviors if you just allow yourself to excuse yourself for that type of behavior, and you start associating subconsciously, even you start associating toxic behavior with that music, with that food, or whatever. And again, it's not exactly easy to explain. It's something that you don't notice because again, it's subconscious. But like your mind will start associating bad things with that, so you'll just kind of get like upset or something, or depressed or whatever when you're doing something, or you're around a certain type of music or whatever. We subconsciously associate shit with shit all the time. It's just something we naturally do. It's part of our the way our minds work. So there's stuff like that to keep in mind and consider as far as demons go. Now, going over some other stuff, like we also I'm gonna go into like the little deeper, more spiritual side. There's also like personally there's demons and I don't know, gods, I guess you could say. Personally wouldn't necessarily like to call them gods because some of them have some really bad shit that goes along with it. As far as like beliefs and shit go, like there's personally there's demons that can attach themselves to you, and I do believe this is where a lot of like mental illness and demon possession comes from, is from one, not protecting your energy, being around that type of energy for a very long time. Now this is my own personal perspective. Some people might call this shit crazy, some people may agree with me. But personally, I believe a lot of mental illness comes from like demon possession and just allowing that type of really bad behavior into your life, or even family trauma, stuff that happens over centuries and stuff. A lot of that can really affect like your mental capacity, and things can attach themselves. Like if you follow any type of like voodoo history or demon possession history, there's a lot of stuff that goes along with what I'm talking about, goes into another type of perspective, even. Like, again, like if you see some of my other videos, all religions are based on astrology, so a lot of religions will be very, very similar, even though they don't want to believe so, and we're not going to talk about that again. But they can become really similar, so you can actually, like, if you vibe with a certain type of, like, thought or belief system. I wouldn't even say belief system, but just like a ritual. And let's say ritual. If you believe in a certain ritual from a certain religion, maybe that's something that's vibing with you, and maybe you can take bits of whatever that ritual is and bring it into your own life and kind of change it to where it's personal. Because again, if you trust your own intuition and you kind of make things personal, they become a lot more powerful as far as rituals and spells and intention setting goes. So keep that in mind, because maybe you vibe a lot more with like, certain beliefs. And that's totally okay. And as far as also really helping yourself with like keeping that type of energy out of your house, again, like with protection and stuff, I know you don't want to clean your house, but clean your house. I'm talking to somebody in particular in this video because one of y'all need to clean your house. But no, seriously, like sweep. Like there's a good reason why witches have brooms in their house. It's for protection. It's for cleaning out old energy, bad energy, and inviting in new energy. So when you invite new energy in, it's usually going to be good energy. You just want to make sure that you have that mindset, and that's the intention that you're setting, is to clean out old toxic energy and invite new positive energy into your life. So personally, I know there's a lot more to go with, like, demon hunting, demon recognizing demons, and then we can get really into, like, gods and stuff, but personally I don't really want to get into that with this video. I mostly just want to talk to people on the individual side, because I know with December rolling in, Christmas is coming, not everyone feels motivated. Like, a lot of people don't feel motivated for Christmas at all this year, so there's just that overall vibe that I'm picking up from a lot of people. So I just really wanted to talk about that and talk about people as far as, like, the new year comes in. Sorry, something really loud's going on. My neighbors are construction workers, sorry. But like, there's a lot of that, like, you know, energy where we're transitioning to a new year, and so there's, like, old toxic traits that we're trying to get rid of, and old relationships are ending, like toxic, negative, and like relationships are really ending this year. People are realizing their true potential, but also getting kind of held back by a lot of these bad vibes that are going on this year, because obviously with COVID and everything, and just, you know, government control and shutting down businesses, and people have, like, these deep personal fears that are coming to not necessarily fruition, but they're getting laid out on the table, where people are realizing other people's toxic traits a lot easier. People are realizing their own toxic traits a lot easier. And things are just being presented, like, you know, this year is about the mirror, reflections, reflecting on yourself, reflecting on others, reflecting on your situation, and just reflecting on the overall paradigm of our system, because it's obviously not necessarily crumbling, but it's not working out, right? So there's a lot to think about this year. There's a lot to work on this year. So again, Book of Shadows, protection spells, cleaning out your house, recognizing other people's toxic behavior around you, and just cognitively and consciously, just, you know, making sure that you're not inviting in demons and bad energy into your life, and you're not necessarily fighting that energy, but you're not letting it have power over you. So yeah, just keep those things in mind. If there's anything specific you want me to cover, just, you know, leave it in the comments section, obviously. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, let me know if personally you have any questions. You guys can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram. I will be working a little bit more on Patreon for my supporters, because I do have a couple people there that help me out with my channel. So I'm going to get a little bit more personal in those areas. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just talk to me there. Peace. Y'all have a good one.